Do you know how to solve exponential equations? That's what we're learning in today's lesson. Here are the 6 examples. Solve the following exponential equations. Give it a try and play the video whenever you're ready for the solutions. Question number 1. 2 to the power of 3x is equal to 64. In solving for exponential equations, we need to rewrite the equation where the left side and the right side base are equal. So for question number 1, we need to write 64 using base 2. So keep the left side 2 to the power of 3x, and 64 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 6. That is multiplying 2 by itself 6 times. Since the bases are now both 2, we can just drop down the exponents 3x is equal to 6. Doing the inverse operation, we need to divide both sides by 3. So our x value is 2. Question number 2. 4 to the power of 3x is equal to 8 to the power of x plus 1. So the first thing that we need to do is to make the base of left side and right side equal. What do you think is the base that we're using? We are using base 2. For the left side, 4 is the same thing as 2 to the second power, and we have the 3x outside. For the right side, 8 is the same thing as 2 to the third power, and we have x plus 1 outside. Using the power rule, we need to multiply the exponents. So for the left side, that's the same thing as 2 to the power of 6x. The right side is 2 to the power of 3 times x plus 1, and that is 3x plus 3. Since the bases are the same, we can just write down the exponent 6x is equal to 3x plus 3. Now we need to isolate the x on one side. So we can subtract 3x to both sides of the equation. 6x minus 3x is 3x is equal to 3x minus 3x is 0, so right side is 3. Dividing both sides by 3, our x value is equal to 1. Question 3. 16 to the power of x minus 3 is equal to 64 to the power of x. So first is to rewrite this equation to make sure that left side and right side have the same bases. What do you think is the base that we can use? Both 16 and 64 can be rewritten as base 2 or base 4. And it is easier to use a larger base. So for 16, I will use 4 to the second power. And we have x minus 3 outside. 64 is the same thing as 4 to the third power, and there's an outside power of x. Using power rule, we need to multiply the exponents, so we will have 2 times x minus 3, or that is 2x minus 6. For the right side, we have 4 to the power of 3 times x, and that is 3x. The bases are the same, so we can write down now the exponents 2x minus 6 is equal to 3x. Isolating the variable x, I will subtract 2x to both sides of the equation. 2x minus 2x is 0, so we have negative 6 is equal to 3x minus 2x is 1x, so the value of x for number 3 is negative 6. Number 4. 27 to the power of 3x plus 1 is equal to 81 to the power of x plus 2. What do you think is the base that we can use for numbers 27 and 81? Yes, we can use base 3. 27 is the same thing as 3 to the third power, and the outside power is 3x plus 1. For the right side 81, 81 is the same thing as 3 to the fourth power, and we have the exponent x plus 2. So now we have the same base 3, and by using power rule, we will just multiply the exponents 3 and 3x plus 1. And for the right side, we multiply 4 and x plus 2. So using distributive property, 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 1, we have 3. For the right side, distributing the 4, we have 4x plus 8. Now we need to isolate the variable x on the left side. So we will subtract 4x to both sides, and we will have 5x plus 3 is equal to 8. Now we need to subtract 3 to both sides, and we have 5x is equal to 5. Dividing both sides by 5, our x value is equal to 1. So the answer for number 4 is x equals 1. Number 5. 5 to the power of 4x minus 6 is equal to 1 over 125. For this question number 5, we will use base 5. 125 is the same thing as 5 to the third power. And since we have 1 over 125, then we need to use the negative exponent rule. So the right side is the same thing as 5 to the power of negative 3. Using negative rule, that's the same thing as 1 over 5 to the third, or that is 1 over 125. Left side is 5 to the power of 4x minus 6. Since we have the same base, we can now write down the exponents 4x minus 6 is equal to negative 3. Isolating the variable x, we add 6 to both sides, and we will now have 4x is equal to negative 3 plus 6 is 3. Dividing both sides by 4, our x value here is 3/4. Question 6. 9 to the power of x minus 3 is equal to 1/3 to the power of 11 minus x. What base can we use for 9 and 1/3? We will use base 3. 9 is the same thing as 3 squared, and we have the outside power x minus 3. 1/3 is the same thing as 3 to the power of negative 1 using the negative exponent rule. And the outside power is 11 minus x. So now we have the same base of 3, so we will write down the exponents 2 times x minus 3, and the right side, negative 1 times 11 minus x. Doing distributive property, we will have 2x minus 6, and right side is negative 11 plus x. Isolating the variable x on the left side, we subtract x to both sides. So we will have x minus 6 is equal to negative 11. Adding 6 to both sides, our x value is equal to negative 5. So the answer for number 6 is x is equal to negative 5. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel at Celzo Academy.